Welcome to my latest case, The Secret of the Old Clock. To start, choose Junior or Senior Detective. If you're new to adventure games or need some help, click on Tutorials.
The year, 1930. The place, the road to Titusville, where we find Nancy Drew behind the wheel of her blue roadster, pondering this question. Why did Emily Crandall, a girl whom Nancy knows only through their mutual friend Helen Corning, ask Nancy to drive all the way out to the Lilac Inn to see her? Does it have something to do with the fact that Emily's mother died barely a month earlier, leaving Emily to run the restaurant with only her guardian to help her? And more important, why, when she called, did Emily sound so desperate? The spunky teenager turns off the main road, blissfully unaware that Emily isn't all that awaits her at the end of the driveway. No, Nancy Drew is about to get her first taste of the mystery, intrigue, and adventure that are to become her destiny.
Well, hello. I'll bet my bloomers you're Nancy Drew.
That's right. Are you Emily's guardian?
You got it. I'm Jane Willoughby. I'm Emily's guardian, but only for the next 3 months until she turns 18. Then she's on her own.
It smells like someone's been baking pies.
Pies are the Lilac Inn specialty. We get orders from all over. Oh, that reminds me, your father called. You're supposed to call him. You can use the coin phone on the porch. Emily didn't say anything about you coming until just this morning.
She didn't?
Don't get me wrong, she can invite anybody here she wants. It's just that she's gotten so darn forgetful lately.
Is she all right?
Well, now, that's hard to say. She misses her mom, that's for sure. So do I. Gloria and me, we were best friends, you know. The two of us ran this swell little dress shop over in Capital City. But then she got hitched and I didn't. And the next thing I know, she's writing me saying it would sure take a load off her mind if I could take care of her little girl should something ever happen to her.
It was nice of you to say yes.
I couldn't say no. I mean, what are best friends for? I just wish I knew how to help Emily.
Help her do what?
She's been acting so... Look, go talk to her. She probably just needs to spend some time with a bear cat like you instead of some dumb Dora like me. Go on up, she's in her room. Just make like a Boy Scout and be prepared.
Nancy, hi. Welcome to the Lilac Inn. Oh, and before I forget, thank you for that nice note you sent me when Mom died. It meant a lot to me.
Well, I lost my mom too, years ago. I kind of know how you feel.
You and I may not be best friends or anything, but you're still one of the nicest people I know.
Well, thank you.
That's why I'm hoping you'll do me a favor, a big favor. You and your dad.
What kind of favor?
Shh!
What's wrong?
I thought I heard something. Your father has a safe, right?
You need to put something in a safe?
See this jewelry? I'd like you to take it home with you and put it in your father's safe.
It's beautiful.
It was my mother's. The few times I saw her wear it, she looked just like a movie star. I was hiding it here in my room, but all things considered, I'd feel a lot better if you would just take it home and have your father lock it up in his safe.
What about your guardian? Can't she take care of it?
Oh, I don't want her to know I'm doing this, so don't tell her, all right? See, strange things have been going on around here. That's all I can say. I know it sounds loony, and Jane probably told you that I've been acting loony, but please do this for me. What was that?
Emily, come downstairs, quick! The kitchen's on fire!
Come on, we better get out of here.
This is horrible, just horrible. The fire chief says the stove was completely destroyed and there's smoke damage everywhere. The inn will have to shut down for months, maybe even for good.
Does he know what caused the explosion?
It looked to him like one of the burners on the stove had been left on. The flame either went out or was never lit, but anyway, something made a spark and boom. He said insurance companies are very reluctant to pay out when things look hinky, and that's when times are good.
Who was in the kitchen this morning?
Emily was the last person to use the stove. Like I said, she's been real forgetful lately. I think she's pretty upset. But it's not her fault. What with her mom passing away barely a month ago, and me showing up, this total stranger who doesn't know the first thing about kids or running a restaurant, and her trying to do everything all by herself. It's just too much, that's all. Who wouldn't go a little off their nut? I better get that. The line to the regular phone got burned up in the fire, so now the only phone we got is the coin phone on the porch. Excuse me.
Emily?
My mother's jewelry! It's gone! Someone must have stolen it while we were all downstairs. I knew something like this was going to happen. I just knew it.
You mean this sort of thing has happened before?
Yes. No. I'd rather not say, but I will say this. I did not leave the stove on. That fire was not my fault. Oh, what am I going to do? Without that jewelry, I don't have a prayer of paying for a new stove, and without a stove, I'll have to sell the inn, and if I lose the inn... I wish Mom were still here. I wish Josiah Crowley had left us the money like he always said he was going to. That's what I wish.
Who's Josiah Crowley?
He was this old man that lived next door. He died last year. He spent most of his time here at the inn, and he led my mom and me to believe that he'd left a lot of money for us in his will. He gave us a clock, and afterwards, he'd always point to it and get this little twinkle in his eye and say, "Time will tell." But when they finally found his will, he didn't leave us a penny.
Was there a problem finding his will?
It didn't turn up for months. Then finally someone found it in a drawer in Josiah's house. Josiah was kind of a screwball. One time he showed up at my birthday party dressed as my great-aunt Harriet. I didn't know it was really him until 2 days later. Anyway, he had all these weird hobbies, and he always thought it would be really keen to read minds. Josiah invited Richard Topham to move in so Topham could help him develop his paranormal powers right there in his house. Josiah was a sweet old man, and I do miss him, and he was free to give his money to whomever he wanted. But to get our hopes up like that, and then leave us nothing, it just wasn't like him.
Where is Richard Topham now?
He still lives in Josiah's house, which is right down the path out back. His house and the inn were built at the same time by two brothers during the Civil War.
How many people knew you kept your mother's jewelry in here?
No one. Well, Jane, my guardian, she knew, but I didn't tell anyone else.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't forget to call your father.
Got it. Looks like someone recently had a key appraised.
Over here, Miss Drew. Find the toy mouse and give it to Yuri, would you please? Otherwise, he'll just keep meowing. He hates strangers. How nice of you to drop by, and thank you for walking instead of parking in the driveway. I'm expecting a pupil. I'd hate for her to have to park on the road.
How did you know who I was?
If one is to teach others how to develop and use their paranormal gifts, it's only logical that one must possess such gifts oneself.
Does that mean you can read minds or tell the future, or what exactly?
The paranormal includes telepathy or communicating by sending and receiving thoughts, extrasensory perception, or perceiving that which cannot physically be seen or heard, and psychokinesis, using one's psychic energy to reshape or move objects.
Jeepers, you can do all that?
Yes. Well, on occasion. As I tell my students, increasing one's rate of success is simply a matter of practice.
Does everyone have paranormal powers?
To some degree, yes. The goal of the Topham School for the Study and Development of Paranormal Powers is to enable students to make the most of whatever gifts they have. I take them through exercises designed to help them increase their output of phantasmic energy. If you want to sign up for an introductory session, I believe I have an opening today.
What I'd really like to do is talk about Josiah Crowley.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm busy, young lady, far too busy to engage in idle conversation.
When would be a good time for me to come back?
I'll be blunt, Miss Drew. I've discovered that the more time I spend with the, shall we say, intellectually unendowed, the more my cerebral pulsations seem to diminish. I'm afraid I cannot speak to you further unless and until you prove that you are worthy. That is, that your brainwaves are not unacceptably inferior and thus deleterious to mine.
How would I do that?
What I have here is an exercise in logic. If you can discern the correct solution, then I'll know that conversing with you will do me no psychic harm. You may take it with you. Good luck and good day.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Go right ahead. The place is more like a museum than a house.
Was this Josiah's clock?
Everything in here was Josiah's.
Wonder what this mirror's doing in here. What are you when you win barred bounce? What poet is the cat's meow? What will Para, my miniature golf course, get you? What's Gloria's middle name? Becoder is in the rivet. 2 to the right. It looks like Josiah lent a trivet to someone, but I can't make out to whom.
Hi, Nancy.
What was your mother's middle name?
Lois. Why?
Oh, just curious. I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't forget to call your father.
Looks like I need to get the bird from one side to the other. car I saw before is gone. Mrs. Sheldon?
Yes?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm a friend of Emily Crandall's.
Get on with it, dear.
I was wondering, would it be possible for me to see the trivet you borrowed from Josiah Crowley?
You may not only see it, you may have it. Once I find it, that is. Unfortunately, I've an errand to run, so I can't look for it right now.
Maybe I could run the errand for you. I have a car.
So I see. Rather expensive car at that. Very well, Miss Drew. Go fetch my bridge cards from Miss Drakowski, and upon your return I shall present you with that trivet.
Who's Miss Drakowski?
The local telephone operator. You can find her at her house, or Titusville Telco, as she insists on calling it. The switchboard is in her parlor. As you can imagine, she never entertains. I, on the other hand, am expecting company within the hour, so do hurry.
Welcome to the Main Street Bank. Help you with something, miss?
No, I'm just looking around. Thank you.
Yeah?
Are you Miss Drakowski?
Yeah? And you are?
Nancy Drew. I'm a friend of Emily Crandall's. You know, at the Lilac Inn.
Yeah. Look, I'm kind of pressed for time. Going to a party and it takes me a while to get dolled up. What do you need?
Mrs. Sheldon asked me to pick up her bridge cards from you.
Tell you what, I'll get you those cards if you drive that fancy car of yours over to the orphanage and pick up some raffle tickets from Mrs. O'Shea. I should be able to unload a ton of them tonight.
I'd be happy to.
Good, I gotta go. Yeah, I'm coming.
Excuse me, are you Mrs. O'Shea?
Yes?
My name is Nancy Drew, and
Stephen, put that down this instant. We do not run with sticks in our hands or in our mouths.
I'm sorry. You were saying?
Miss Drakowski asked me to pick up some raffle tickets from you.
Oh, yes, the raffle tickets. The fact of the matter is
Elsie, no hitting.
I can't even think about those raffle tickets right now. I promised the children they'd each get a toy for going a full week without breaking anything. And I'm short 5 toys.
Do not eat that, Clarence.
Would you like me to get 5 toys for you?
Oh, goodness, if you could do that, I'd be forever grateful. They can be any kind of toy at all. The children aren't the least bit picky.
Of course it tastes bad, Clarence. It's a pine cone.
I better go rinse out his mouth before. Oh, would you look at that? He's actually chewing it.
You're not a squirrel, Clarence. Spit that out this instant.
Hi, Nancy.
Was your mother's jewelry insured?
Gosh, I forgot about that. I don't know. Jim Archer, I bet he'd know. He's our banker. I guess I should go talk to him.
You don't sound very happy about it.
I'm just so bad at business things. And Jane, my guardian, she tries hard, but she's no good at it either. Maybe you could go talk to him. Please? It would be such a big help.
Sure.
He runs the Main Street Bank. You can't miss it. I'll call him and tell him you're coming.
Is the clock in the parlor the one Josiah gave you?
Yes. I don't know why he gave it to us. It's never worked, and nobody can open it to find out why.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Don't forget to call your father.
Drop a nickel into the good. How may I be of service?
Hi, Miss Jakowski. It's Nancy Drew.
So where are those raffle tickets?
I'm still working on it.
Well, unless you're gonna sell them, get them over here. In the meantime, what can I do you for?
I'd like to call Carson Drew at KL 57187.
Hang on a minute.
Carson Drew speaking.
Hi, Dad.
Well, I see you got to Titusville okay.
I got your message. Is something wrong?
No, everything's fine. I need to get some documents from a colleague over there. I thought since you were in the area, you could pick them up, save him paying postage.
Sure. What's the address?
He said he'd just leave them for you at the telegraph office. Just drive into town and look for Tubby Telegrams. He said you can't miss it.
Will do.
These papers are extremely important, Nancy.
I will pick them up, Dad.
Good. Remember, watch your gas gauge and get gas when you're low so you don't run out. And try to avoid potholes. The more you hit, the likely it is you'll wind up with a flat.
Yes, Dad.
And if you do get a flat, take it off and put on your spare, and then head straight to a gas station and get it fixed.
Yes, Dad.
All right, lecture over. Have you found out why Miss Crandall asked you to visit?
She wanted me to have you lock her mother's jewelry up in your safe. Only someone stole it before I could take it with me.
Stole it? Good gosh.
That was right after the stove in the kitchen exploded.
The stove exploded? Sounds to me like you'd be well advised to cut your visit there short.
No, I want to find out what's going on. I have to find out what's going on.
You have to?
Well, yeah, you know. Emily just lost her mom, and she's worried about losing the inn, and her guardian's all wet when it comes to helping out, and...
And the truth is, you are so curious that you feel like you'll absolutely burst if you don't find out why all these weird things have been happening, right?
Yes.
Don't worry, I know the feeling. You're a chip off the old block, I'm afraid. Well, as long as you're like me in one other way, you should be fine.
What way is that? Smart?
Careful.
Goodbye, Dad.
Keep in touch.
Maybe I could buy some toys for the orphans in here. Well, that's one toy. Two toys down, 3 to go. That makes 3 toys. Four toys. I just need one more. A vending machine that just sells toys. Keen. I can't get the toy without putting in money first. Five toys. That's all I need. Hello, I'm looking for Jim Archer.
Right through that door.
Hello! Are you Nancy Drew?
Sounds like Emily called you.
Yes, ma'am. Jim Archer. I'm founder, president, manager, and just about everything else you can name when it comes to this fine enterprise.
Did Emily tell you why I'm here?
She just said you were coming and that she'd appreciate it if I would talk to you. Terrible thing, losing her mother like that, then being saddled with that restaurant, especially now.
What do you mean?
Ever since the stock market crashed, one business after another has closed, including banks. President Hoover keeps saying that a recovery is just around the corner, but you have to wonder.
Is your bank doing okay?
I'm happy to report that we're doing just fine, thank you. Excuse me. Main Street Bank, Jim Archer speaking. No, I don't. I'm sorry, but... Yes, I know, but... All right, then just bring it by. Sorry for the interruption. How can I help you?
Do you happen to know whether the jewelry Emily inherited from her mother was insured?
Well, I know for a fact that it was not. Why?
Because someone snuck into the inn today and stole it.
Oh, no. I heard there'd been a fire in the kitchen, but when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? I told Gloria not to let that policy lapse.
Why did she let it lapse?
She felt that since Josiah Crowley would be leaving her a large sum of money when he died, or so she thought, paying to insure her jewelry just wasn't necessary.
How well did you know Josiah Crowley?
Well enough for him to name me executor of his will. An executor is the person who makes sure the terms of a will are carried out.
Did he leave you anything?
He'd given me the impression that I would be well taken care of when he passed on, too. But when I finally read his will, it all went to Topham.
Where did Josiah keep his will?
He'd hidden it in a chest of drawers in his house. It took me months to find it. When he named me executor, he said he'd tell me where it was hidden when the time was right, whatever that meant.
The will you found in Josiah's house. Is it possible that Josiah didn't really write it?
Well, the thought that it could be a forgery did cross my mind. But an expert verified that the will had been typed on Josiah's typewriter and signed in Josiah's hand.
But Richard Topham lived in Josiah's house. He had access to his typewriter, and he could have copied his signature.
As far as the law is concerned, the matter is closed, Miss Drew.
But it's possible that Josiah's real will is still out there. Are you sure he never gave you any clue as to where he'd hidden his will?
Whenever I asked him, he said he'd tell me when the time is right. Although, he got a safe deposit box here about 3 years ago.
Maybe that's where his real will is.
Topham has tried to claim its contents, but he can't find the key.
If Topham can't find the key, maybe it's because it wasn't in Josiah's house.
Now, Miss Drew, I wouldn't go jumping to any conclusions.
I guess I'll be going.
Nice talking to you.
Don't you ever use this typewriter?
That used to be Josiah Crowley's. It was the only thing he left me in his will. Naturally, it doesn't work. The keys always jam.
October 9, 1929. Dear Mrs. Sheldon, here is the trivet I said you could borrow for your party at Twin Elms. Please take care of it because I will want it back someday. Your friend, Josiah C. I wonder if Josiah ever got his trivet back. Who's Clara?
Clara Pickford is this lonely old woman who comes in here every once in a while. Took a shine to me for some reason. Insisted on giving me that picture.
Did Josiah Crowley give you this clock?
Yes. Unfortunately, it stopped keeping time almost immediately.
That receipt I found outside the inn. I wonder if the key it refers to is the one to this clock.
Do you have 5 toys for me?
I certainly do.
Oh, that's wonderful. You're such a saint, you hear me? A saint. I'd better get these inside before the children see them. Thank you so much.
Mrs. O'Shea, the raffle tickets?
Oh, the raffle tickets? I don't have them, dear. You'll have to pick them up from Phelps' print shop. Then just take them straight to Mr. Kowski. We don't pull hair, Ralphie. Especially when we have jelly on our hands.
Phelps' print shop. Wonderful.
Sorry, young lady, I'm about to close.
I'm just here to pick up the raffle tickets you printed for Mrs. O'Shea.
Aw, darn it. I did tell her I'd have those done today, didn't I? Well, I'm sorry, but they're just gonna have to wait until tomorrow.
Oh, but I need to have them today.
And I need to go fishing.
Fishing?
My brother-in-law thinks he's hot stuff because he caught an 18-inch largemouth bass this morning. So I bet him I could catch a 19-incher by the end of the day. And if I do, I get his stamp collection. And if I don't, he gets mine. And since stamp collecting is about the only hobby I can afford these days, I'm going fishing.
I know. You stay here and print those raffle tickets, and I'll go fishing for you.
Not everybody can catch a 19-inch largemouth bass, you know. It takes skill and muscle and brains. Bass are pretty smart.
I can do it, Mr. Phelps.
You better be right, because you're not getting those raffle tickets until I get my 19-incher. You can use my gear. I left everything out at the fishing hole.
Great. I'll see you later. First thing I need to do is bait my hook. Yuck. Now I toss this in the water, and when the bobber goes under the water, I need to pull the line up fast. I caught one! Looks like 19 inches to me. Oh, no offense, Mr. Fish, but you stink.
Let's see what you got in there. How about that? You did it. Here, let me take it from you.
Please do. I think it's starting to get a little ripe.
Just rest yourself a minute while I get those raffle tickets. There you go. 10 dozen tickets to the annual Orphans Benefit. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go make a telephone call.
To your brother-in-law?
Yeah, the one who used to collect stamps.
Bye.
Hi, you got those raffle tickets for me?
I sure do.
Great. And here are Mrs. Sheldon's bridge cards. One of the gals spilled Moxie all over them, but I cleaned them up real good, so let's not tell Mrs. Sheldon, okay?
Okay. Thanks for your help, Miss Jakowski.
Thanks for your help. Bye now.
Hello, are you Mr. Waddell?
So what if I am?
I found this receipt, and I just wondered what you could tell me about it.
Let me see that. One key, determine resale value, item 493. Oh yeah, this was for that key Jim Archer wanted me to appraise.
Jim Archer wanted you to appraise a key?
It was very ornate, had jewels all over it. Fake jewels, as it turned out. When I told him it was worthless, the cheapskate refused to pay me and told me to keep it.
Do you think I could have it?
Sure. Once you pay the appraisal fee.
Which is?
$1.50.
Here you go.
Good. Here's the key. Enjoy.
It would sure be nice to be able to open this thing. Before I fool around with this, I should make sure it's okay with Mr. Archer.
You know, the minute you walked out of here, something occurred to me. You're Carson Drew's daughter, aren't you?
Guilty.
We went to law school together, only he actually went into law and I wound up here. So how's he doing? Business pretty good?
Great. Couldn't be better.
That's nice. That's real nice. Well, you tell him you saw me, and you tell him I'm doing just fine too. So what can I do for you?
The key that you had Mr. Waddell appraise, could that be the key to the clock that Josiah Crowley gave you?
It might have been, I suppose. You know about that?
I found the receipt. on the path to Richard Topham's house.
Really? I thought I'd thrown it out. You see, when he told me the key was worthless, I lost all interest in it.
So it would be all right if I kept the key for myself?
I have no use for it. In fact, if you want that old clock, you can have it too.
I guess I'll be going.
Nice talking to you.
Have my bridge cards?
Right here.
Good. And here is Josiah's trivet. I didn't realize when I asked to borrow it that it was such an eyesore. But once a sumptuous dish of my buff stroganoff was placed atop it, I assure you, no one noticed. Now do run along. My guest will be arriving any minute, and that dress of yours, it's, well...
I like this dress. It's very flouncy. I've only got
Something I can do for you?
Well, my name's Nancy Drew, and my father said
Say no more. You're here to pick up some papers. They're in that envelope.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say, is that your roadster out there?
Yes, it is. Did I park somewhere I shouldn't have?
No, it's just that my regular driver never showed up today, so I've got no way to deliver all these telegrams. How would you like to earn some extra cash?
You mean you want me to deliver them for you?
You've got a car, you're trustworthy, or at least your father thinks you are, so what do you say? I'll pay you 25 cents each time you complete a delivery. And you might even get some tips.
Okay, sure.
Great, you're hired. Here, deliver this to Seymour out at Blenheim Nursery. Come back when you're done and I'll pay you and give you another telegram to deliver.
Great. See you in a little while. Hello, I've got a telegram for Seymour.
Just leave it on the desk there. I'd, tip you, but as you can see, my hands are filthy.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to doll up some of my plants before this guy named Mr. Martin comes in. He's a big cheese at some oil company, and I'm hoping he... Ow!
Did that plant just bite you?
It did kind of feel that way.
I think I'll be going now. Bye! That looks right. Am I smart or what? I'm getting there. That looks right. Am I smart or what? I wonder what goes here. If I could let some light in here, I might be able to reflect it off these mirrors. Something tells me I need to adjust the mirrors so that the light bounces off of them and onto that thing over there. Maybe I should ask Richard Topham if this crystal ever got delivered. I've seen these symbols before. They were in that newspaper story about hobos.
Hello, Miss Drew.
Hello, Mr. Topham.
Am I to assume that you have the correct solution to that logic problem?
Right here.
Let's have a look. Why, you appear to have indeed found the solution. Well, since you've proved yourself to be intellectually above average, which means talking to you should do me no harm, what would you like to talk about?
Do you by any chance know who Marcel is?
Marcel was what Josiah called his favorite hat.
His hat? The man named his hat?
He loved that hat, so to him naming it made perfect sense.
Do you still have Marcel?
No, as a matter of fact, I gave that hat to Gloria Crandall. She said she was fond of the old fellow and wanted something to remember him by, although I suspect the real reason she wanted that hat was to see if he'd stashed any money in it.
Josiah ordered something from the Krollmeister Crystal Company just before he passed away. Do you know if it ever arrived?
You must be talking about that chunk of quartz that came last winter. I still have it right here. Why?
I was wondering if I could buy it from you. For my father. He loves quartz.
Perhaps we can work something out. You see, amazing as this is going to sound, I am able to project my thoughts into another person's brain.
Is that so?
The only problem is, not everyone has the intellectual capacity to receive my thoughts. But since you have already demonstrated a high level of intelligence, yes, you may very well be the ideal subject.
Me? Really?
You are going to help me prove that I am telepathic. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to shuffle a deck which contains 5 sets of these cards. Then I'm going to turn my back, draw a card, look at it, and start transmitting my thoughts. When you receive my thoughts, you will identify the card I'm looking at. Once you correctly identify 5 cards in a row, I'll give you that piece of quartz.
But what if I can't do it?
Just stay focused on the cards and my superior brain power will do the rest. Very well, let's begin. Which card am I thinking of?
I think it's this one.
Excellent. Here's another. What card am I holding?
This one.
Yes! Here's another. Which card am I thinking of?
This one.
Excellent. Here's another. Do you know what card I'm looking at?
I think it's this one.
Marvelous. Here's another. What card am I holding?
This one.
Very good. You did it. Well, actually, I did it. But in any case, thank you for your assistance. Here's the piece of crystal that Josiah ordered. Take it. You've earned it. Well, actually, I earned it, but let's not quibble.
But Mr. Topham, you didn't really. I'm afraid that subconsciously you may have...
Yes?
Never mind.
Do you need anything else?
What do you think happened to the key to Josiah's safe deposit box?
Josiah no doubt lost it. He had a terrible memory, poor fellow.
Are you still looking for the key?
What's the point? No doubt it's filled with the same thing as this house. Junk. But if it's junk, why haven't I gotten rid of it, you may well ask. Well, I know it's silly to hang on to Josiah's things, but he was a wonderful man, you see, and I just don't have the heart to get rid of them. Too sentimental for my own good, I guess.
It was nice talking to you.
The feeling is almost mutual.
Hi, Nancy.
Would you happen to know where your mother put Josiah's favorite hat?
Look in the drawer right below me. That's where all Mom's mementos are.
I'll be back in a little bit.
You're the bee's knees.
Maybe this is the key to Josiah's safe deposit box.
You don't need to look at everything in there, do you?
Sorry. Hello, Mr. Waddell.
Now what?
I need for you to cut a blank from this piece of quartz.
No big deal. Let's see it.
The blank needs to be just like the one you made before for Josiah Crowley.
Like I said, no big deal. You're gonna have to cough up $2, though. You can pay me when you pick it up. Good day.
Hello again.
I think I found the key to Josiah's safe deposit box.
Really?
I have it right here.
It is from this bank.
May I see if it opens the box?
It takes 2 keys to open a safe deposit box, the owner's key and my key. And in this case, I'm under no obligation to open it for you.
Oh, but
However, were you to do me a small favor...
Sure.
I hired a seamstress to make a dress for my wife's birthday next week. Unfortunately, the seamstress and I had a falling out, and now I need to find someone to finish the dress.
Just hire a new seamstress.
Oh, the fact of the matter is, the dressmaker quit because I couldn't pay her. I misled you before. Business is not fine. This bank is on the brink of ruin.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Archer.
I wanted to get my wife something nice because, well, it might be the last nice thing she gets for a long, long time. Now, Emily once mentioned that Jane used to be a dressmaker.
Say no more. Just give me the dress and I'll take care of it.
I have it right here. The seamstress said that all the pieces have been cut out and basted together. All that's needed is a sewing machine. When it's finished, bring it back and I'll let you try that key in Josiah's safe deposit box.
I guess I'll be going.
Say hi to Carson for me.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram. Take this to Counselor Alice out at Camp Avondale. Keep up the good work.
Welcome to Zippy's, where zipless service is zippily zapped and zippy service is the zippiest. Fill her up?
Just 50 cents worth, please.
That'll be 50 cents.
Here you go.
Thank you, miss. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Drive zippily.
Hi, I've got a telegram for a counselor here named Alice.
That's me. Hang on. Oh, go dry up, Jason! What a jokester. Anyway, thanks. I'm afraid I don't have any money to tip you.
That's okay. Have a swell day.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram. Deliver this to Mr. Jones at Vash's Dairy. Keep up the good work.
Hello, I need to deliver this telegram to Mr. Jones.
That's me. Thanks. You can tell me I'm all wet, but I don't have any money to tip you with. Wait a minute. Here, how about a nice fresh glass of milk?
No, thank you. Bye. Is this your sewing machine?
Actually, that belonged to my mom. She and Jane used to be dressmakers. Mom was going to teach me how to use it, but she never got the chance.
Would it be all right if I used your sewing machine?
Go right ahead, but remember, you're on your own.
There's no needle.
It's probably in the box with the rest of Mom's sewing stuff. Ask Jane if she knows where it is.
So, is Emily all right?
Someone stole her mother's jewelry.
What?
Did you happen to see anyone go upstairs during all the commotion that the fire caused?
No. You mean someone stole it while everybody was rushing around trying to put out the fire? Hypers! If you can't trust a fireman, who can you trust?
Are you sure no one besides you and Emily was in the kitchen this morning?
Positive. Well, I suppose someone could have snuck in the back door. Are you saying someone caused that fire on purpose? To distract us?
It's possible, don't you think?
But I'm the only one who knew she had that jewelry. Well, it's not quite true. When Gloria was alive, she could have told people about it, or people may have seen her wearing it. And when she died, they knew the jewelry had to be around here somewhere, right?
Does anyone in particular come to mind?
Sorry. It's been hard enough getting to know Emily, let alone anyone else in this backwater burg. Well, guess better go call the sheriff.
Would you happen to know where the needle for the sewing machine in Emily's room is?
I moved all of Gloria's sewing things out of there and put them in a little box. Look, I'm supposed to get the pies we baked before all the hullabaloo this morning ready for the delivery man. They gotta be put in the shipping container just so, or he casts a kitten. This is how he wants them organized. Now why don't you go out on the porch and get those pies ready to go while I look for that sewing box?
Sounds good. There, that should do it. I'll bet those are the two brothers that built the inn and Josiah's house. Looks like there might be some kind of tunnel around here. There's something written on the back.
Thanks for doing the pies. The more I do it, the worse I seem to get at it. Here's that box. I'm sure that sewing machine needle is in there somewhere.
I see it.
Remember, when it comes to using it, you're on your own, kiddo.
Well, I'll talk to you later.
Don't take any wooden nickels.
Looks like this lever opens the couch. From the looks of those lanterns, I'm not the only one who's been down here recently. Jeepers! I'm behind one of the walls in Emily's room. I should ask Jane about the photo I found that allowed me to find that staircase that goes behind Emily's room. An old piggy bank. Swell, $1. This piggy bank looks like it's been here for a long time. I wonder if those tiles are supposed to make a picture. Guess I better not leave the lights on. Jeepers, that sounds like Richard Topham. This door must open right into his living room.
There you go, good kitty.
Guess I better not leave the lights on. I bet a needle goes here. There, not bad, Miss Drew. Not bad at all.
I'll never forget the night it all began, that dark, stormy, fateful night when I decided the time had come to rid the world of the creature. But it would take money to do that, and to get money, I needed to confront my arch-enemy, Nick, who had recently become able to transform himself fittingly into a giant warthog. When his forest hideaway came into view, I dismounted and approached the door on foot so I could take him by surprise. My fear that he would hear me proved groundless, for a terrible storm began to rage, washing away the sound of my footsteps. I peered through the rain-streaked window beside his front door and could see him sitting in front of the fire. He had returned to human form, but the malicious smile on his face suggested that he was recalling his recent porcine exploits. Seeing that the door was unlocked, I hurled it open and marched across the room toward him. "Step away from that bottle of warthog potion," I commanded, "and give me the 20 gold coins you stole from my poor servant." "I'm not going to give you a thing, save, perhaps, a taste of my sword." And with that, he drew his sword. In an instant, I had drawn mine, and so commenced the fiercest sword fight the world had ever known. The storm raging outside paled in comparison to our battle. To my surprise, Nick's experiences as a lower life form seemed to have improved his skill as a swordsman. I feinted, I parried, and yet victory eluded me. And soon I began to feel my strength ebbing from me. I was tiring rapidly. Summoning every ounce of what little energy remained in my body, I lunged at him one last desperate time. Ouch! Why, you've wounded me! I had managed to wound him on his right arm, just above the elbow. Curse you! His words, punctuated as they were by an untimely clap of thunder, sent a shiver down my spine. "Save your breath," I intoned, "and give me those gold coins." "Here, take your precious coins." He tossed the bag of coins onto a chair, but as I reached for them, he reached for his bottle of potion, and in a matter of seconds, my night had gone from bad to horrible.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram. This one goes to Miss Ross at Sunnybrook Farm. Keep up the good work.
Hi, I have a telegram from Miss Ross.
My name's Rebecca, and I'm only 10, but I'll I'll deliver it to her for you, I promise. I won't let you down or double-cross you or anything like that.
Well, okay. Thank you, Rebecca.
No sweat. I mean, you're welcome.
Did you deliver that telegram?
I sure did.
Good for you. Here's your money. And here's your next telegram. Deliver this to Dr. Bob out at the observatory. Keep up the good work.
How's the dress coming?
All done.
This is beautiful. Thank you. Now let's see if that key you found opens up Josiah's safe deposit box. That was Josiah's key, all right. But that is not Josiah's will.
It looks like some kind of journal. Would it be okay if I kept this?
If it was money or jewelry or something like that, I'd turn it over to Topham. But a journal? Finders keepers as far as I'm concerned. I'll be at my desk if you need me.
It's locked. Naturally. Flute, 7.025 megahertz. Pyramus, 7.057 megahertz. Thisbe, 7.050 megahertz. It looks like some kind of record of the people Josiah talked to on his ham radio.
Anything else I can do for you?
I guess I'll be going.
Goodbye now.
Hello, Mr. Waddell. Are you done making that blank?
Have you got my fee?
Right here.
Good. Here's the blank I cut for you. Enjoy.
Why do I get the feeling someone's following me? Guess I better not leave the lights on. I don't hear anybody. Now would be a good time for me to sneak inside and have a quick look around.
Clear your mind of all thoughts. Think about nothing save facts. Yori, be quiet. You're disturbing us.
Mr. Topham?
Yes, Mrs. Deckman?
Is it okay if I blink?
Yes, it's okay if you blink. Just keep focusing. Your eyes, your thoughts, focus.
Should I concentrate on the top edge or the bottom edge?
Either one, Mrs. Deckman. Just concentrate.
Josiah must have circled these quotes, but why? Something tells me I better write down all the stuff that's circled here in my journal.
Mr. Topham?
Yes, Mrs. Deckman?
Am I trying to push it or pull it?
Push it. You're trying to push it, all right?
I'd rather try to pull it.
All right, then. Try to pull it.
Guess I better not leave the lights on. Looks like Josiah was a ham radio operator. Is anyone out there? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
This is Pyramus. Who are you?
My name's Nancy Drew. Does somebody named Puck usually call you on this frequency?
Somebody named Puck used to. Apparently he found something better to do. Haven't talked to him in months.
Well, that's because he passed away not too long ago.
Oh, well, that's a good excuse, I guess. How'd you know he called me Pyramus?
I'm a friend of his. I found your name and radio frequency in his journal.
So why are you talking to me?
Did Puck, ever ask you to tell him something whenever he read a certain passage from Shakespeare?
Whenever he rattled off this Shakespeare quote, I was supposed to rattle off this stupid saying he gave me. How did you know about that?
Long story. But if I were to rattle off the quote, there's no reason why you can't tell me the stupid saying, right?
Well, come to think of it, he never said the quote had to come from him, so yeah, I guess I could tell you.
Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night.
How'd you know?
Long story. What did he tell you to say in response?
Wait a minute, I had to write it down. Here, you're gonna love this. A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
A barking dog would do well to hold his tongue in a dangerous neighborhood.
I told you it was stupid.
How long have you known Puck?
I've been talking to him over the radio for a couple of years. He told me he was just this lonely old rich guy who lived by himself and had a bunch of weird hobbies. In a pig's eye.
You didn't believe him?
Rich guys don't own ham radio sets. They own radio stations. In their spare time, they drive fast cars and sail around the world and hobnob with other rich guys. They don't shoot the breeze with working stiffs like me.
But
look, if it made the guy happy to tell me he was rich, fine. No skin off my nose. But he didn't fool me. No siree. Not for a second. Anyways, the missus is calling, which means I gotta skedaddle. Over and out.
Hello? Is anyone there? Hello?
This is Flute, but you sure don't sound like Puck, so explain yourself.
My name's Nancy Drew.
So where's Puck?
Well, I'm pretty sure Puck's real name was Josiah Crowley, and I hate to say it, but he passed away earlier this year.
Ah, that's a shame. Heck, I never got to give him his sentence.
What sentence is that?
Well, see, a while back, Puck dictated a sentence to me and told me that if and when he recited a certain passage from Shakespeare, I was to respond with that sentence. Weird fellow, that Puck.
If I tell you the passage, will you tell me the sentence?
Well, yeah, sure, I guess. Especially seeing as Puck's no longer with us.
Shall we their fond pageant see? Lord, what fools these mortals be.
That's it. Here, let me check my logbook for the response. Now I'm supposed to say, leave by road when the owner is in, because then there will be thieves about.
Leave by road when the owner is in, because then there will be thieves about?
Those were Puck's exact words. Well, hope I've been of some help. Over and out.
Thisbe, are you there? Hello?
I'm Thisbe, but only Puck calls me that. Who's this?
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm afraid I have some bad news about Puck.
Oh, dear. They closed the play he was starring in, didn't they? That's why I haven't heard from him. He's too far down in the dumps. Oh, I was afraid it was something like that.
Actually, you haven't heard from him because he passed away several months ago.
Oh, my. That's worse, isn't it? And after all that rigmarole he went through, making sure I knew my line and understood my cue?
Your cue?
Yes, you see, Puck, or whatever his real name is, or was.
Puck wanted to share his love of acting with me, so he gave me a line to say. A very curious line, I might add, and told me to repeat it only after I heard my cue. A passage written by Mr. William Shakespeare.
So if I cue you with a passage, you'll respond with the line he gave you to say?
Immediately. I know it by heart, you see.
Here goes. If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear.
The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
The authorities are alert for bad water, so do not go this way.
That's what I was to say, although my delivery was much better when Puck was coaching me. And now, as Puck was fond of saying, I bid you adieu. Over and out.
Flute is a character in A Midsummer Night's Dream. A golf ball, no doubt meant to be used on that golf course of Josiah's. Oh, a miniature golf course! Swell! Another safe deposit box key?
Emily, please, just settle down. It's all right. It's not all right. Stop lying. Something's wrong with me.
You've got to go talk to Emily. She's in a bad way.
What do you mean? What's happened?
Please, go talk to her. She won't listen to me. I'm no help at all.
Just go back to River Heights, Nancy.
Why? What's the matter?
I took a nap after I got back from running errands, and when I woke up, this was in my hand. It's one of the necklaces that I thought had been stolen. I have no idea how it got there. I must do things and not remember. All this responsibility on top of losing Mom. I can't cope with it. I'm having what'd Jane call it? A nervous breakdown.
No, you're not.
I don't want to talk anymore. Go home. You're just making things worse.
Hello again.
I found another safe deposit box key that belonged to Josiah.
Impossible. Josiah only had one box, and you've already opened it.
Can you tell me whose key this is?
It is one of ours. Where did you get it?
I won it playing golf at Josiah's with a special ball. I had to ace one of the holes.
Why does that sound familiar? I know why. That's what Clara always called me, her ace in the hole.
That's who this key belongs to, Clara Pickford.
So, Clara Pickford was really Josiah Crowley in disguise.
Apparently, he loved playing tricks like that on people and hiding things right under their noses. I wonder what this is. Gloria Dowd, now Crandall, and Jane Willoughby, circa 1912.
Jane Willoughby? That doesn't look the least bit like Jane Willoughby.
No, it certainly doesn't. I'd better get back to the Lilac Inn and have a talk with her right now.
Move out of the way, would you please? I'm kind of in a hurry.
You're not going anywhere until you tell me who you really are.
What are you talking about?
I just saw a picture of Jane Willoughby, the real Jane Willoughby.
It's been swell knowing you, sister.
I can't let Jane out of my sight. Bet she's heading for the state line. I know. I'll take a shortcut and head her off.
Why couldn't you just mind your own business?
Dear Ned, I know you'll be home from school in a couple of days, but I couldn't wait to tell you. I just solved a mystery. I figured out that Emily Crandall's guardian was really an imposter named Marion, who intercepted the letter Emily wrote to Jane Willoughby after her mom died. She pretended to be Jane not only so she could steal Emily's valuables, but so she could convince Emily that she was incapable of running Lilac Inn, and that she should sell it and split the money with her. On top of all that, I found Josiah Crowley's real will. In it, he left Emily so much money that she'll be able to hire all the people she needs to keep the inn going. He left Jim Archer a ton of money too, which means he won't have to close his bank. And from now on, he'll be able to buy his wife a new dress anytime he wants. As for Richard Topham, Josiah left him nothing. Although Topham still refuses to admit that he forged the first will and insists that he's going to contest the will I found. Dad says it's highly doubtful he'll succeed, and that he'd be better off sticking to spoon tricks. Anyway, when you get home, I'll give you all the details over a nice big piece of slightly damaged cherry pie. Wait till you hear that part of the story. As always, Nancy. Great news, I think. See, Frank and Joe Hardy have invited me to help them solve a mystery. Only this mystery takes place on a train. But not just any train. A train that was found abandoned years ago in the middle of nowhere. All of its passengers had simply vanished. Some people say the train is jinxed. Others say it's haunted. I mean, it'll be fun to finally get to work alongside the Hardy boys, but I just hope the trip we're going on doesn't turn out to be, you know, one way.